All right, guys, welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to talk about probably the most important automated flow that you're going to build. It is the welcome flow. There is a lot of potential for revenue here if you set it up properly and if you have a great opt-in experience. Okay, so today we're going to cover why the welcome flow is so important. I'm going to show you the key components that need to go into that welcome flow to make sure that it fires on all cylinders. And then I'm going to give you a couple action items here to get you started on it. Okay, so why is it so important? Emails in a welcome flow generate 86% greater click rate than one-time sends. So the click rates in these things are insane. And probably the biggest reason for that is that they opt in, and the first instruction a lot of the times is go to your email to get your discount code or do something like that. So you can always count on high open rates as well as high click-through rates as well as massive revenue generated. This is the chance to educate your people about your brand. This is your first impression in their inbox, okay? And you want to respect that inbox. So you want to make sure everything that you put into it has value, okay? You want to tell your subscribers what to expect when they get on your list. You know, sometimes you even say how many times you're going to email them. How often are you going to end up in their inbox, okay? And a big thing you want to do is indoctrinate. You want them to know who you are. You want to get your meat hooks in them, in their hearts and their minds. Okay. And of course, you want to convince shoppers to explore your store. Okay. So I want you to start with a 4-part sequence. Okay. 4 emails are going to go out in the next 7 to 10 days after they subscribe. Okay. If that sounds like too much, I can tell you it's not. It's a great cadence just to get started. You're going to want to look at the metrics, figure out if people are unsubscribing in droves after the 3rd email or something. That's when you can kind of make the tweaks, right? And obviously the first email gets sent immediately, so that one almost doesn't even count. You know they're hot. All right, so just a couple benchmarks to aim for in this welcome series. And as you can see, it kind of goes down as the heat evaporates, right? The whole purpose of this thing is we want them to buy. And as soon as they sign up, they are as hot as they're going to get. So shoot for that high 50% open rate and just kind of, it'll expect it to go down from there. Okay. And of course, back to the offer attributes. Every single email that you send, you want to be thinking about which attributes you're including, right? You want to mix and match. You want to experiment. And I'll show you a good order that we go in to start with anyway. But you're going to find that different attributes resonate more and less with your specific audience. Okay, every brand is different. So sometimes if you talk about you and your cool story, that's going to do the best. Sometimes if you just, sometimes your customers just want transactional discounts. Sometimes they just want that 20% and only to hear about the sales and promotions you're running. Sometimes, if you have more complex ones, we have a guy who sells telescopes and cool stuff to do with space. People love to know the inner workings of those things. So the functional attributes really resonate with that audience. You're going to have to test this. You're going to have to figure that out. And I got a few more insights on that as well. Okay, so let's just look at example content that you should be going in here with, okay? So email number 1, obviously you want to do what you said you were going to do when they signed up. They signed up for a reason. Oftentimes, I know we've talked about this a lot in the past, but like signing up for a newsletter, get on our list. We'll send you a newsletter. Is not a really great, reason for people to sign up. Basically, you're saying, hey, sign up for us to spam your inbox. But if you get them on a high intent offer, like sign up and get 10% off your first purchase, first of all, they need that 10% off. So you have to give them that code. Second of all, the intent is there for them to purchase. So they're so hot right now. So you got to do a really good job on this first email, which is why I always suggest, and I'll show you an example shortly here, video. If you can do a meet the owner video at this point, you're just really getting that brand in front of them, getting you in front of them. They're going to be your friend after this. And that's kind of the, end game here. You want to start a relationship. Email number 2. This is all rule of thumb, guys. So you're going to have to figure out what works well for you. But we always love to try, at least initially, the influence attribute. Essentially, they have not purchased yet if they're getting email number 2 in the flow. If they purchase after number 1, we're kicking them out of this flow. Or at least we're filtering them into a different branch. But I love to put some testimonials, show reviews, video, links to video testimonials here and just say, hey, listen, it's not just us saying how awesome we are. Everyone else is also saying that we're awesome. Okay. Email number 3, Functional. Go for products. Focus on your best sellers. Focus on why they should buy these things because of what their functions are, right? How great of a product it is. And essentially what's happening here, like I said, we're booting them out of this flow if they purchase. So essentially what they're doing is they're saying no to us each time they don't purchase, right? So on that first one, oh, that 10% is not good enough. I don't like that. So I'm going to try something different. I'm going to switch my offer, provide different content. And essentially what I'm doing is seeing if they're going to say yes. And if they say no, I'm going to try something different. If they keep saying no, I'm going to follow them around essentially until they unsubscribe or they completely disengage after like 90 days. And finally, email number 4, like I said, they've said no 3 times already. Switch it up. Come out of left field. Offer something big even. All right, so here's an example of what a really basic linear welcome flow looks like. Again, MVC, minimum viable campaign. Start here and iterate from here. Okay, and as you can see, there's, flow filters on there. There's triggers. The trigger is, of course, they sign up on the newsletter. And then there's just delay. So each time anyone purchases, they're out of there. They go into my post-purchase flow. Just to give you a little bit of an anatomy of the flow here, or of at least this individual emails in it. So obviously, you're going to have to come up with a subject line and preview text. That is the first thing people see. You want it to be hyper relevant to what they just signed up for. So if it's an offer, you want to say something about the discount code or welcome to the team, right? Welcome to our crew. And you can get creative with that. And again, test these for days, and you can A/B test them live. All right, so send 50% here, 50% there. Again, done is better than perfect. Get it pumping first and then iterate. Okay, so here's our good friends at Ocean Sports. And you can see our friend Megan there, does everything that we ask her to. And we asked her to make this like meet the owner video. That's the first thing you see. She wants to get into your hearts and your minds before we even give the discount code. And there's one company out there that I've found over the years that you can actually embed video into an email, but 99% of the time that video is linking off email onto a landing page or just directly to like a Vimeo or a YouTube account. It's the unfortunate thing about email, but all good. We really want people watching these videos. As I've mentioned in past lessons, if we can get people purchasing on brand attributes, so because they love our story, because they love our brand, over transactional, even over functional, you are going to win the game. Of course, the discount code comes below. And just to look at, 30 days of sending these things and 15 grand, not bad, right? 51% open rate, 13% of people are clicking, 4% of them are placing order. That's a lot of money in your pocket for literally doing a few hours of work, right? And then it just ticks away. Okay, so action items, guys, set it up. Set up your welcome flow. You now should have your ESP, your email service provider, go through what I just showed you, set up your minimum viable welcome flow. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.